Hi. Hi, Maddie. Hey, Lucy. Hi, Tandy. Hi, Seth. Hey, Noah. What's up? Hey, Bram. Hey, Stephanie. Hello, Marlon. Hey, Marissa. How are you guys doing? Everyone can take a seat and we'll get started soon. Hi, Quinta. Welcome, Sunshine Elementarians. My name is Miss Addie, and I'm so excited to be here with you all today. I'm from Laurel, Maryland, and I love working outside. I love being outside in general. I love working with the earth and getting my hands dirty. I think growing plants and growing food is so interesting and something I love to learn more about. So I'm so excited to be here with you guys and get into the garden. When I was little, my mom made a little garden bed for me that we grew strawberries in, and I'm so grateful that I had that early exposure to growing food and working with the earth. So I'm really I'm really happy to be here with you guys all today and work on that. A great time collaborating, and it's gonna be really fun working and learning from you guys. So thank you for being here. Before we get started, I wanted to do a little activity so that we could get to know each other a little bit better. So I want us to share one thing that we love about ourselves. And we can take a second to think, then we'll go around the circle. I can go first. I love my abilities to connect with animals. I think animals are so interesting and I love learning more about them. I have three dogs at home that I'm obsessed with, and I love spending time with them. So I'm really happy that that's part of my life, and that's something that I love about myself. Um, does anybody want to go first? Yes, thank you, Marlon. Thank you for raising your hand. Um, let's all listen to him, and then we'll take turns going around. All right, thank you so much for sharing, everybody. Those were some really well thought out answers, and I appreciate everyone's reflections. Now, let's get into today's activities. So, the Sunshine Elementary staff, the very talented Sunshine Elementary kitchen staff, are featuring a new vegetable today. Can we get a little drum roll? The cucumber. I love cucumbers. They're so delicious and the perfect summer snack. Cucumbers are 96% water, which makes them super hydrating on a hot summer day. Another thing that I think is really cool about cucumbers is that they're used in almost all cultures in a different way. Can anyone share a way that they like to eat cucumbers? Yes, Stephanie. Pickles. I love pickles too. So salty and delicious. Pickling is also a great way to preserve the cucumber. The salt makes it last longer than it would if it was just kept in its natural state. So it's a great way to keep the cucumber lasting longer, if you need it to. Could anyone else share? Oh, you eat it with a spicy cucumber salad? That sounds so delicious. I also love cucumbers as a dip, with hummus or with a spinach artichoke dip. So yummy. There's so many different ways to eat cucumbers, and we can get into that more while we're growing the plants. I also am super excited to be growing these cucumbers because I think they're really interesting to watch grow. Cucumbers grow on these big vines with big leaves that are kind of rough. They're kind of going to be an interesting texture for us to feel. They also require some interesting techniques that not all vegetables require to grow. Cucumber vines love to grow and reach exciting new possibilities. They love to reach for their dreams. So as the plants get bigger, we're gonna be installing some sticks around the plants and then tying some string through those sticks so that the plants can grasp onto the string and then grow up as opposed to growing side to side. And this makes it so that the plants take up less space in the garden and it as well keeps them from getting diseased as likely. So we're gonna have a lot of fun planting these cucumbers. Now I'm gonna explain how we're gonna plant them. So this is what a cucumber seed looks like. Let's pass this around. Thank you, Stephanie. And just you can take a look at it and pass it around. And this is what is gonna grow into the cucumber plant. Now, we're gonna create 2 rows of cucumber plants, and each seed will need to go in a hole about a 1/2 inch deep. So let's look at our fingernails. It's gonna be a little bit past the fingernail on our thumb. So let's just take a look at that. That's the hole. That's a hole that we need. And we're gonna put those about 6 inches apart and place the seeds into each of those holes. Now, before we get into the planting, I'm going to set some garden expectations and rules to make sure that we are all safe and have a great time and successful time planting these seeds. So, number one, the garden is an outdoor space with soil, plants, and insects. Be ready to get your hands a little dirty and be respectful of where you are in the garden. Stay mindful of where you're placing your feet. We don't want to step on anybody else's plants or what they're growing. So if you think that you might be seeing something that could be what something's growing, you can always ask if this would be a safe place to step. I'm happy to answer your questions, but just be a little mindful of where you are in the space. Um, Insects are also an important part of nature, and you will be seeing them in the garden. Be respectful of them. They play an important role. Even if you don't want to look at them, you don't have to, just look away. But if you are interested in them, you don't need to touch them. Just observe. We can do more research on them later. But if you're interested in them, keep that curiosity and we can get into it later. Another rule is to help each other and be patient while taking turns planting the seeds. We're doing this as a team. This is a group activity. So we want to be there for each other and make sure that this is successful, that everyone's learning, everyone's having a chance to participate. So if you have any questions, don't don't be afraid to ask me or ask your classmates. If you see someone struggling, be there for them, and as well as I will be there for you. So don't hesitate to reach out. And then the last thing I wanted to say was to pick up after yourselves. We don't want to make a mess. We won't need any tools, but if we were using some tools, um, we'd put them back where they belong at the end. And we don't want to leave any trash in the garden for any bugs to eat or to get into our plants. We want to leave it a clean space as we found it. So does anyone have any questions? I'd love to answer before we get into the garden. Um, and also, please be excited to try what the chefs have created with the cucumbers. I hope this gets you guys excited to eat what they make and see the hard work that goes into growing a cucumber and getting that onto your plate. So please raise your hand if you have any questions, and then we'll get outside. But thank you so much for listening. You guys were great listeners, and if you need me to repeat anything, I'm very happy to do so.